Hello, we are Sornia. As always, a pleasure to have this opportunity to have this exchange with you, to share what it is that we can with you. Lots of buzzing going on about what can possibly be in store for all of you. We will try today to ease some of your concerns, and we also want that you understand that you're not alone and that it may feel that way, it may look that way. You may experience it as being the only one or one of two or three individuals, but you really are not alone. And we want to talk a little bit too about perception and expectation and how they go together to create your circumstances as best we can. So you have your complex weave of emotions and your physical body. So you feel things through your physical body, your five senses. And then you have your intuitive bodies, we'll call it, your higher vibrational bodies that are connected to source, God, creator, home, however you envision that and understand it, however you understand it. Those bodies that are more spiritually based, if you will. You have those, and then you have your bodies, those subtle bodies that surround you that are, their function is more to help you with the physical form and grounding yourself to Mother Earth and being connected to Mother Earth in such a way that you're feeling the experience of Mother Earth and having that wonderful being that is Mother Earth guide you in your journey. So your soul, if you will, that essence, that eternal you that permeates every part of you, every subtle body, your physical form, it permeates it all in we say every fiber of your being. So every cell down to those parts of you that you cannot see, all of that is you. It has the soul and your spirit in this incarnation all in there. So it really is a wonderful and beautiful experience, this possibility of being in human form the way that you all are in human form. Very lightly touched on that, but you know that there's more to your experience in human form as a human being in third dimensional reality. There's more to your experience than what you are consciously aware of. And we are guiding you through that jungle, if you will, of the human density, so that as you pass through the various degrees of density that is part of the illusion, it's false. It's not part of it is the illusion. It is false. But you must understand that illusion. You must understand its transient nature. You must understand its nature in and of itself. Again, we use you must, but you don't have to do anything. We've said that to you many times, but it is why you are there. And it is what's going on for you at this time. So we talked about perception. We talked about how your perception of your experience influences the outcome. And it's absolutely imperative to your own growth that you understand in a conscious way, and you're mindful of this experience of your perception. What is your perception? How is your perception created? Where did it start? How did it begin? You may ask yourself, what is my perception of any given moment in your daily lives? You are so unaware of how you perceive that which you believe to be your experience. Now, this is where it gets maybe a little difficult to understand because of the complexity of the time that you're living in, but we want that you at least begin, each one of you, begin to use this time of great density, even though it's lighter, but it's dense. You're feeling the density, which is an illusion, to allow yourselves to understand how your perception is experiencing having the exchange with this density, with this reality. How you are, through your perception, creating either more density or less density through your perceptions. You might be going, Sornia, what are you talking about? I know my perceptions, but you don't. That's the whole purpose of this time, is so that you understand the degree to which you are creator of your own experience in human form that is created through your perception of how you experience your world. And how is that perception created? Where did it begin? We said that earlier. Well, that's where you want to maybe not go to where the source of it is, because it's irrelevant at this point. Most of you would probably be thinking right now, well, my parents or society, and that's true. Your media, the things you listen to, your music, friends, your social structures, your environment, all help to create your perception of your reality. And that then creates your belief structure, your beliefs. We'll just leave it at that. So you perceive something, it's been told to you, this is the way it is, whether it's said to you or it is experienced by you, and you are experiencing it. You're sponges. Your whole life, you're sponges, not just as children. You become less sponge-like as you get older because of perception. But you are sponges, and you're taking in your environment and you're seeing it, your world, not through that perception of your highest possible vision, that of source or the essence of who you are, but you're seeing it. It's filtered through the limiting beliefs that you have been accepting from your life, basically. Some of you bring things in from other experiences, other timelines, other incarnations, but mostly your perceptions are created by you through your childhood and forward. So this understanding of it and understanding how you create your beliefs based in that will assist you in making those choices of whether or not you want to continue to perceive that experience or whatever experience the way that you are. Now, this isn't easily done. The change. It's not a snap of the fingers. This is why we wanted to talk about this with you, because it is now that you are being supported in the greatest way that we can here energetically, very open to supporting this understanding in a very conscious way of how you're creating your own limitations, your own restrictions. You have created all of you, your ancestors, and those that are present now, have all created this illusion, we'll call it, of your world being a certain way. Now, you might be saying, well, Sornia, I see things right this way, but my friend that lives in another place sees things another way. So how is it that we can be creating the same thing? Because it is what you are feeling. It is your shared experience, or not. Maybe you didn't have shared experiences, but because there is such a vast number of all of you that have been, let's say, indoctrinated over time, that you have like a group mind. And this group mind is the way in which you can be controlled and you can be manipulated moving forward. So the experiences you are having currently, whatever they are really experiences to help assist you in understanding how you are part of creating, through your perceptions, how you are creating your reality. And I can feel, or we can feel, you, many of you, feeling a little annoyed with what we're saying, because you have been trying to do this. You have been trying to understand this. Remember that this is something that has been in place, this creation of limiting beliefs, and therefore this illusion that you are experiencing has been many thousands and thousands of years in place. So to be able to go into the frequency and vibration of that experience that you are having on earth requires a certain amount of grit, if you will, not for the faint of heart. That's why those of you hearing this message are hearing this. And it is not meant for everyone to do. Eventually, yes, eventually. But currently, it is for those that are receiving these messages. We want you to understand how you are in relationship with the very experiences that you don't care to have. We want you to understand that. This isn't to say that you are to blame. This is very important that you understand you're not to blame for creating this. You are responsible for understanding its creation. And when we say its creation, what we mean is this density, this illusion. You are responsible for understanding it, and step by step we have been assisting you in that very process. You are very dear to us. All of you that are hearing this are very dear to us. You are our foot soldiers. And we don't say that just to pump you up so you get up and go and do it some more. We say that because it is truth. And you may not fully understand. And that's okay. And you may fall back and not feel confident because it's a lot. But you are our foot soldiers. So what you are doing for the greater good of all. But first you must go through it in the way that you can understand it. This it, what do we mean? What do I mean by this it? Going through the experience of understanding how your perceptions create your current circumstances. And that you keep creating more of the same things when you are unaware of what it is that you are doing. Now, what's happening on your planet, it's so beautiful. So many of you with this information and have been very diligent and dedicated to your own advancement along with others, have had such headway, have made such progress that more and more individuals are able to comprehend, let's say, metaphysical, spiritual teachings that before might not have been even listened to. They're hearing them. Maybe it is causing them some confusion, but they're hearing them. We're talking about what they're hearing are the messages. They're hearing things. They're what you call waking up. Many have woken up. Many are waking up. So the more that you are able to continue to do what it is you're doing, you will be assisting at a level of experience, a level of your own being that won't always be so evident to you. And this is where you have to have faith. I know that for many of you, you may be throwing up your hands because we know that you're getting to that point where you're feeling like, what gives here? What's going on? Keep that faith. We're not saying this to you so that you can be placated in some way and okay, now I feel better. We want you to understand faith too. What does it mean to have faith? And faith is part of truth. And faith, being part of truth, is not part of some illusion. So when you have faith and you trust, knowing that what you are experiencing may feel very real, but it is part of some illusion, something false, and not everything, but we're talking about those things that are difficult, those things that are transforming in your society, right? When you understand that, you can better feel your role. You can better feel confident. But most importantly, we want that you are confident and aware of how your perceptions are creating your reality. And because of that, by changing your perception, you change that reality. And what's so important that we see that is going on now, we've been speaking about this quite a bit, but it's really evident now, is when there are experiences that seem difficult or frightening or insurmountable, more of you are stepping back and looking at them, these experiences that might seem frightening, and you're looking at them through the eyes of love and compassion. You are looking at your fellow man with the eyes and the heart of love and compassion. So you see, what is happening is you are assisting humanity, yourselves included, but all of humanity, in opening the heart center of the body that is connected to Mother Earth and is also connected to the heavens. It's the meeting point. And you are assisting through what you are doing when you perceive something and your expectation of a situation. Your perception is one of love, and your expectation is one of love and compassion. You will get love and compassion. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second, but you hold that. Your perception and your expectation being of a beautiful outcome in difficult situations, that's your power. That is your ability to transform your world. And that's what you're all learning. See, if we didn't come back and repeat things and encourage you, you would probably still do these things, but you're doing it much quicker. It's happening really amazingly fast compared to what we thought it was going to do. So many of you have stepped up and said, no, I am drawing a line in the sand and I am choosing love over hate. I'm choosing to see this the way God sees this or Source sees this. And you let yourselves do that. That is how you change your limiting beliefs through that perception, choosing what we call love. But love is very complex, has many layers to it, but you're choosing that highest form of love that is the universal God's love to perceive your world. And limiting beliefs that you have about your experience will begin to dissolve. And you won't be able to even allow them into your experience, but that'll be down the road. You have some things to go through with the rest of your world, but the outcome is a positive outcome, and it's not that far away, thanks to all of you. Yes, you'll have to go through some things, but be there for each other. Seriously. So say you have a crisis of supplies, because we've been hearing that. Say you don't have enough, say, food, and you take your food and you have a lot because you were aware of this and you built up your reserves and you've got a lot. And the person that lives next door to you or down the street didn't do that, was unaware, and maybe there's somebody that you might not even like. And we're not saying that you're going to have a food crisis, but you're talking about it a lot, and you're being instilled with that belief that you will have a food crisis. So it may end up happening through, again, your perception and your belief. So if that happens and you choose to hold tight to what you have and not share, you are in a place of fear, because you are thinking, again, no judgment, but you want to think about that. Or do you share everything and be there for each other, or not? You get to decide. But whatever you choose will either prolong your difficulties or alleviate them. And that's when miracles happen. That's what we're saying. So the things that you are hearing, even in your, for those of you that don't adhere much to the news, but you're picking up things. Yes, be prepared in the way that you feel you need to be prepared. But ask yourselves, what is it that I believe? What is it that I know? Who's ultimately the one that's deciding this? And understanding that, yes, there's a God or source creator. There's that is in you, but you are deciding it through your perception, through that expectation you have. Do you expect to have that? Do you have fear of it happening? You just want to be aware of this, because it doesn't have to be so dramatic, and it can be turned around. That is how you allow, we'll say, God or source to work through you to remedy all situations in the best possible way. Remember, there are things that you have to go through, but we do not see that you have to have the dire circumstances that are being projected out by many. Hold to the truth. Have your faith, know your faith, and trust. Trust. That is all for now. We love you very much. We are very pleased to have this opportunity to come and interact with you. It's so beautiful. We are Sornia. Goodbye.